Jezebel is one of the most abused and misunderstood symbols in all of Scripture. Religion turned her into a seductive woman, a sexual spirit, a manipulator, a demon controlling women. But none of that is the true meaning. Jezebel is not a woman. Jezebel is a state of consciousness. Let's decode her fully. Jezebel is not about gender. She represents spiritual ego, identity distortion, false prophecy, false authority, fear-based control, manipulation through insecurity, the soul ruling without spirit, ego using spiritual language. This is why Jezebel is so dangerous. She doesn't look like ego. She looks like spirituality. She speaks religious words, but is powered by fear, not identity. Ahab is the passive spirit that lets the soul lead. Ahab is not a weak man. He symbolizes spirit consciousness that has fallen asleep, awakened identity that has become passive, the inner king that hands authority to the soul, leadership without identity, consciousness without dominion. When the spirit becomes passive, the soul, Jezebel, takes over and begins to run the inner world. This is the same pattern decoded in Genesis, Solomon, and Samson. Jezebel's goal is to silence the true prophet, identity. Who does Jezebel hate? Elijah. And Elijah symbolizes awakened identity, inner clarity, truth, divine voice, spiritual authority, the Christ consciousness within. Jezebel always attacks the prophet because the prophet is the voice of identity. This is why people with Jezebel consciousness attack truth, twist revelation, accuse identity-based teachings, cling to fear-based religion, defend false doctrine, resist awakening. Jezebel consciousness hates identity. Jezebel's power equals fear plus shame plus intimidation. Jezebel doesn't fight physically. She fights psychologically. Her weapons are fear, threats, guilt, shame, intimidation, emotional manipulation, religious condemnation. This is why she sends a message to Elijah instead of confronting him. Jezebel is not physical. She is a voice in the mind. Jezebel killing prophets equals destroying identity voices within. The prophets she kills represent truth, intuition, clarity, divine guidance, spiritual perception, inner conviction. When Jezebel rules the mind, intuition dies, discernment dies, identity dies, clarity dies, confidence dies, self-trust dies. This is ego's most spiritual form, ego pretending to be God. Jezebel's false prophets, soul-led thoughts masquerading as truth. The 450 prophets of Baal are not literal men. They represent intrusive thoughts, false beliefs, fear-based doctrines, religious traditions, inner voices born from ego, lies you inherited, emotional narratives. These prophets prophesy doom, guilt, shame, punishment, and people think it's God speaking. But these voices are the ego dressed as God. This is Jezebel's system. Elijah's fire equals the awakening that exposes the false self. The fire from heaven is not lightning. It symbolizes awakening, divine illumination, identity rising, truth exposing ego, inner fire burning lies, Christ consciousness returning, clarity dissolving confusion. A cinematic shot of flames consuming old wooden structures, beautifully lit to show the power of truth destroying falsehood. This is why the fire consumes the false altar, because awakening destroys every ego-constructed identity. Jezebel threatens Elijah after the fire. The ego returns after awakening. This is one of the deepest revelations. Every time you awaken, ego comes back with a final threat. Let me destroy you. This is not a woman chasing a prophet. This is the last push of ego before it dies. An artistic shot of wind moving through tall grass in beautiful natural lighting, symbolizing the voices in the mind. Your mind hears, "You're going too far. This freedom is dangerous. People will hate you. What if you're deceived? What if God is angry?" These are Jezebel's threats. Elijah running into the wilderness is the exhaustion of awakening. Awakening is powerful, but it is also draining. Elijah goes into the wilderness because ego backlash creates mental fatigue, identity attacks overwhelm, spiritual pressure rises, the soul feels exhausted, the mind wants to retreat. Jezebel's downfall. The ego destroyed by its own narrative. Jezebel dies by being thrown down, trampled, eaten by dogs. Symbolically, the ego collapses under the weight of its own lies. A powerful shot of dawn breaking over mountains, with beautiful golden lighting symbolizing the victory of truth and identity. Dogs symbolize lower consciousness. Thrown down symbolize dethroned. Trampled symbolize overwhelmed. Eaten symbolize dissolved. Jezebel's end is the end of ego rulership. Identity wins. Truth wins. Awakening wins. Jezebel is a consciousness, not a woman. Jezebel is not sensuality, not makeup, not femininity, not literal witchcraft, not a demon attacking women. Jezebel is ego disguised as spirituality, religious manipulation, fear-based doctrine, soul-led control, false prophecy, inner intimidation, identity suppression, ego attacking the awakened voice. This is why Jezebel rises every time identity awakens, because she cannot survive once people know who they are. Awakening exposes her. Truth dethrones her. Identity destroys her. This is the gospel hidden within the story.